I decided to make two videos, one with the P1000 and one with my cell phone footage. This was a picture later on, but these are the first three are time lapses, and then I go into um, a video, and then back to time lapses again. But really, what I wanted to show was how this whole sky was being blocked out with rain, clouds, but yet behind me to the east, the clouds were still lit up. You could tell that they were lit up from the top, but yet there should have been a big hump of clouds above me from the horizon, the western horizon, all the way to the eastern horizon. Now, if you notice, a little hole opens up in the clouds out here along the horizon. Somebody might say, well, that's how the light was getting to the other side, but yet I filmed it with this whole sky being blocked out. Uh, Plus two, if you really pay attention to your clouds, the lighting, the sun, the position, you'll start realizing that the sun is actually higher higher than what you perceive it as, because it just appears to be low in the sky, which it is not. It's still at the same height that it was when it was directly above your head. The only difference is um, you have your perception, you have convergence, um, and it's the perception, your perception of where the sun is. Now somebody says, well, how come the sun doesn't get smaller and smaller as it goes away? Well, on clear visible days, if you did some comparisons, I'm sure you would see a difference in the size. One of the things that I always say is that, they lied to us right from the very beginning, that refraction is bending light upward. But then when you look at their research, like in B. Flat's video, where he explains that if you're on the other side of this prism, which they're shining a light through, you would perceive the sun lower in the sky because the light is bending downward, not upward. Now, if you were standing back the other way, where the light is directly above you, um, somebody else that was standing at the other end would see it lower in the sky. So again, it's seeing these lies in science that goes back to, Lord knows when. But they say, oh, the Egyptians proved the Earth was a globe. No, they didn't. They just they just tell you that the Egyptians uh, discovered that the Earth was a globe. No, they didn't even have the technology that we do today, and with these uh, zoom cameras that we have today, we're not only able to bring ships back in full focus, seeing them perfectly on top of the water, where otherwise they would appear to be going over a curve. The other thing is the upturned edge. That's something too. You got to look at B Flat's video on that. The upturned edge is the mirroring edge, is the way I see it. It's a mirroring edge. So that mirroring edge will literally block out more of the horizon, the true horizon, than you can even perceive. Because again, when you have two converging lines, once these lines converge, can you see past that convergence? No, you can't. So you're not going to be able to see past the convergence. Um, so anything beyond, I mean, even with a zoom camera, eventually you're still going to have convergence. Um, Now, the P1000 has 125 times zoom, but yet the sun appears to set. Well, it's going to, with all the dense gradient that's in front of you, which obviously today there's a lot of gradients. Um, So, looking through a prism where the light's shining in at the top, and then it bends down low towards the sea level or ground level. And I will put that video link in the description and in a comment. Um, but, again, you look back towards the west or east. I, I don't know why I keep saying west, but that's obviously the east right here, or west right there. Sun's going to set in the west, sun rises in the east. And again, now you start seeing a little bit of the light from the sun, which again, right around this time, if you look at that picture, now I'm about 2.5 minutes off, but if you look at the picture, it says 7:29, I believe, which is, or 20 29, which uh, is 8:29, and the sun was supposed to set at 8:30. So really, the sun's already set, and all we're seeing right here is the line of the light from the sun. Now, actually, the sun has not set. It only appears to set because of refraction, bending the light downward, not upward. This is why I always kind of said that refraction was bullshit. I didn't mean that it doesn't occur. I meant more it's bullshit as far as their explanation of it. Because the light, they say that when we see it in the sky up higher, it's actually down below the horizon. And I call bullshit on that, because there's no way that that light's going to be below the horizon and we're going to still see it high in the sky. Now, it makes more sense that the sun is actually higher in the sky than we perceive it as, because that light is being bent down, and the further that sun goes away from us, the more that light's being bent down, appearing to our eyes as being a setting sun. It's not a setting sun. It's a sun that stays continuously over a flat plain with mountains and valleys and, streams, rivers, deserts, jungles, you name it, it goes across it. But in all reality, it's not a spinning globe. If we were spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, clouds going to the east would have to be going really, really fast to keep up with the spin of the Earth. Because if the Earth is spinning to the east, those clouds would have to be going faster than 1,000 miles an hour to keep up with it, which we always see clouds moving in all directions. So it's bullcrap too that the atmosphere is being drug along with the spin of Earth. It's just not even feasible. So again, use your own eyes, use your own senses, your own mind. Decide for yourself what you're actually seeing. Now, here comes the couple of pictures I took too, one right after the other. And that way you could see the time setting on here, the timestamp, what day it was. It was July 23rd at 20:28, 20:29. So again, the sun was supposed to have already set. So this is not the sun. This is just a light, but the sun is actually higher, being bent down low to the horizon to the naked eye. Again, these are, um, all you got to do is look at their science, and you can call out their bullshit, um, because it's not being bent upwards; it's being bent down, and that's why I say, how can they say it's perceived below the horizon when it's actually above it, and being bent down? Again, I kept taking these time lapse videos, and then the last time lapse video I do, I'm going to turn my camera around right here and take I split this to make this last longer right here to the east. You can still see it lit up. You can still see the clouds lit up from the top. So there you go. Trust yourself. Stop trusting in science. I should say stop trusting in their science.